welcome to the start of a new week, even though it's Sunday. Just is what it is. What have we got? We've got 5 orders in, all fairly small, straightforward kind of stuff. A bunch of those plates, some bricks, clearing me out of the tan and the medium blue, of which I only had 2. But anyway, dark red lug profiles and a couple of plates, a whole bunch of white and stuffed parts. I'm going with an X-Wing on that one, pretty sure. Some superhero thing, don't know who he is. Anyway, he's got a biker gang tash, love that. And a crash trooper, are they called, or something? And a backpack on that one. Still haven't done anything to locate those. And I was starting to put away some parts that I had kind of located what lived where, so there's a little bit of sorting happening, which is good, but some of these are all mixed up, so I'll need to divide and conquer in some of these packs. Some I don't, some I do. Swings and roundabouts, isn't it? But all sorts of good stuff to kind of restock. Fair few lots that I don't have. Let's get it up. We've got what do we got? We've got this whole, just knock the camera over. Oh dear. I got all of these from there all the way down to there that don't have, they're all new lots, which is good stuff to be added in the store at the start of a week. Given that we already uploaded all of that, this is another 3,300 parts, so that's pretty good. Nice little addition to the store. Got a little bit of wanted list stuff to catch up with, and obviously the postage to do over there. These have still not found their way into the car to go to the storage unit. That will be a next week job now. Given that, what time are we at? Vlog's not long since gone out, 1:13, so we're just into the afternoon, but I'm not planning on doing much today. Just taking it easy, going through this pick sheet, making sure everything's good, and then getting it in the store, and then don't know, just catching up on a little bit of admin, to be honest. All good. I will try and find the rest of those, because there should be another 30 of them somewhere, which means I've stuffed up somewhere. There used to be in a 2L container somewhere, but I think they were long taken out of that 2L container, and I don't see it sitting on this wall at all. It's not on this side. Nope, not on that wall. On that, on the opposite. What have we got? Nope. No. They're somewhere. They're in a drawer somewhere that we don't know where they're going to be. That is a bit of a pain, because it means you've got to potentially check all of these, and that is not going to happen. And then you have to take them out of your inventory, and you don't know where they are, and then you may stumble across them sometime in the distant future. 30 of them is probably a full drawer though, if they exist, so that's probably a little bit easier to locate, but no guarantees for sure. Yeah, the trials and tribulations when you don't get it right. It's at this point I can hear certain store owners who are away on holiday at the moment telling me that barcodes are the future because you don't make mistakes. Well, I don't make that many mistakes, and neither does he talk like that. Massive offence probably caused, but whatever. I live and die by being a little bit controversial, don't I? Anyway, I'm not going to find it over there, and I don't think I've ever seen it on this wall here. No. I'm thinking this is a bomb sphere and they just don't exist, because I don't know where the rest of them are, but I will have a little look, and if I find them I'll let you know. Anyway, postage to do, get that sorted, and then wrap it up for the day. Okay, 3:45, took a little bit longer than I was imagining. Just short of 771, we were over 771, and then a couple of orders came in. This one, a whole load of tan, clearing me out of those tiles with the studs. Bricks, tiles, all going on in there. A little bit of reddish brown and some dark brown in there, and a couple of basic plates. A couple of parts there, and then we've got Luke Skywalker from Boarding Tantive, I think, and Spider Gwen and a bog standard Stormtrooper in there, along with some other parts, including some kind of head stuff for that one. So 3 more to add to the outgoing pile. Other than that, everything's done for the day, and that is me knocking it off. We put in 17,276 parts this week, which ain't too bad at all. We're a little bit down on last week at the moment, but still time to catch up with that. We're only a couple away, so who knows what will happen through the rest of today and kind of early morning tomorrow. So job done. See you tomorrow. Good evening, welcome to Monday, and it's a bumper Monday. We haven't had a Monday like this for a while. 11 orders in, and I'm going to say most of those have come in through the day, or at least it felt like that anyway, but could be wrong. Kind of, you know, your mind plays your tricks. Quite a lot of them are domestic letter as well, so quick, easy to pick. Powered through it tonight, which is decent. Light blue grey, dark blue grey, 1 dark red hinge brick in there that's got Star Wars written all over it. Somebody called Jellyfish doing some kind of show needs this in a hurry. 13 of those dark tan hair pieces, 65 dark green, 60 black, and some other bits and pieces in there. Maybe some Oompa Loompas. That's what that's made me think of, those hair pieces and the orange heads. Maybe someone's doing a bit of a Willy Wonka something or other. This one is a curious one with some unusual curves and slopes and things like that. Goodness knows what's going on, but I like the look of that one. A little bit of yellow in there, a bit of trans red. This one has some kind of maybe torrent or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of got a good feel to it. That one very Star Warsy. Tan, dark tan all the way in this one. A lot of tiles. Someone's making something. A little bit of retro space, no doubt, going on here. Blue, trans blue in there, and 1 solitary light blue grey. Black and technique kind of things in there. This is the one that makes the day worthwhile. $130 something UCS printed dish. Is that what you class it as? Someone making some Obi-Wan type Jedi capery type stuff in there. Nice like that. Old school Imperial TIE fighter pilot in that one. And some olive and some wheels and stuff in that one. It kind of feels quite tanky, that one, for some reason. Maybe someone's making a mock of some kind of tank type vehicle. You never know. It's been pouring down today, and parcels were sodden through, like pretty much close to breaking. Slowby's bricks on that one. Where's this one from? There's no sign of where that one's from. Another one sitting in there, and this one obviously a Lego.com order. This is another one of those ones that was held up at customs, and similarly it looks like there's no part docket in it, as there hasn't been in all the others, which is a real pain in the ringer that there's no parts listing inside the bags. Although it does look like there's some cool parts in there. Some of those trans reds, they were difficult to find. Some capes, always a winner. What else is in here? Some white things. Some bright green action. Nice parts in there. That job will wait till Wednesday now. I still haven't done anything with these. You lazy. Whatever. But 11 done. I don't know how the week finished. I look at the week without kind of giving the whole shooting match away. This is interesting for you, isn't it? Staring at my desk. Where are we at? Reports. Yeah, that's right. You can see stuff in a minute. Week 42. We ended up with 36 orders, which how does that stack on last week? Bear with me. Store tracker, I've done that as well. Early morning. 36 this week. Yeah, we were only at 22 last week. 36 is our best week for a long time. Through that line there. Yeah, 36. When was the last time we did 36 in a week? Back here at week 33. Yeah, nice. That's a handy little performance, isn't it? So it's been a while, because this is week 43. There is only 9 weeks to go till the end of the year. I had a long hard think about myself and finances and stuff like that towards the end of the year. Obviously, kids and stuff like that means it's an expensive time of year. So I have to think about the investment and whether or not we revert to the original plan of just trying to be above 750 for the end of the year. We're beyond that. Obviously, we were sitting at the 770, so we're ahead a fair bit. If we can kind of just creep forward a little bit for the remaining 10 weeks, including this one of the year, then that would be a pretty decent performance, given as I'm sure everyone experiences this time of year is a bit steep on everything, isn't it? So yeah, that's it. Monday done, dusted, going well. Now I've said that, it'll be absolutely no orders for the rest of the week, but maybe that means I get some parts into the store for a change, or even do a part out. I wouldn't hold your breath. I'll catch you tomorrow. Good morning, welcome to Wednesday. It is just gone 9 a.m. and I was at it early today, picking before everything. I've even been out to the gym as well, so all praise me, sticking to it. 7 days out of 9, not too bad. A few more packages arrived yesterday and some due today. Galaxy blocks there. That is an eBay purchase, which I'll show you later, and that should be the latest gift we purchased, which I can't remember what it is, kind of the bluey whatever it is one. Anyway, Chris from Grandad Bricks has placed an order. He's completing a couple of things and a colour chart as well. He's a commenter and watcher of the channel, so thanks very much, Chris. Really do appreciate that. A couple of dark blue plates and a tile. I think that's from the Mustang, isn't it? Over here we've got a camera with a lens and a other thing, very small parts. This one's an interesting one. We've got one orange oxygen tank and a whole load of other weird and wonderful things. Could be a Christmas tree, perhaps, maybe, could it? Don't know. Christmassy tree vibes coming from that one. Predominantly black and white through here. A couple of those kind of bricks, brackets, wherever they are. Very Speed Champions feel to this one. Very. Whilst this one has got a little bit of bright light orange in it amongst the white and the black. Again, this is kind of a high lot count, but very quick to pick, which was good. And the largest order from Dean, whole load of dark blue grey slopes and things like that, and then a bunch of trans light blue, a little bit of white, a little bit of light blue grey, a whole other assortment of things in there, including some minifigure heads in trans colours, maybe green and red in that one, maybe, or a red in the another one. Can't remember. There are some red ones somewhere. There they are. Found them. They're in there, which is good. Wanted list has increased significantly. Started this page on the 11th, and where are we at now? The 22nd. So, that's kind of how many days these things are lasting in terms of parts coming out of the store. Still need to shift these boxes. They need to go to the storage unit. So then it'll be a case of putting these parts in, those parts, and these two parts, and looking out of the window right now, I can see another delivery van. So this could well be Aramax with some more parts. You never know. That would be good. And if it is, that could well be the first parcel that's made it through without getting stopped at customs. So hopefully Lego will fix that problem, but we shall see. What else is on for the day? Not a great deal, but yeah, that is a whole lot of parcels for me heading up to the gate, so I best go and sort that out. Okay, packages unpacked and arrived and all of that. That was the gift and purchase, the Northern Lights diorama, of which there should be more of those on their way, so taking their time. What we got? 4 parts orders. That's one. Just stocking up on stuff. That is another one. That one's the one from Galaxy Blocks. those. Just a good seller. Surplus parts, those that I were after primarily, and then can't remember which one this was, bits and pieces or something like that. I was after wolves and leg assemblies, pretty much. Other things were a bonus pickup. Nice, a few parts to go in. That was the eBay purchase, obviously with the passing of Dr. Jane Goodall. I thought that one would be a nice one to pick up just to keep. I believe it was a gift repurchase, wasn't it? Not sure when that was. One tiny little crease on the box there, but it was lovely packed. But yeah, nice little set to add to the retirement fund. This is the pile of packages that the Aramax guy brought up, which is great to add to this one over here. So I haven't looked in those to see whether or not they've got any kind of parts dockets or not yet, but I will. But first of all, I'm going to put away all of these parts so that they're tidied up, so I can get the bench for sorting all that out. All parted out. Yeah, it's about 8,000 parts here, including just some bog standard replacements of things, tiles, things like that. That's volume is all important. Some capes as well, which is always good. Some more Halloween-y type parts. Not a great deal of those, but just kind of keeping things on track. A bit of orange stuff, a little bit of white, all good for Halloween, which is decent. What else we got? Some more tiles over here. More tiles, there's a lot of tiles. Those definitely do sell through nicely. More orange over here. So going to get all of this put away now. Bit of a task, but we'll crack on with that. Good morning, welcome to Friday. Been a busy morning already. Been to the storage unit to get rid of those boxes and replace them with those. Had a really good chat with another guy in the Lego store about the Germany factory, what we were, what he was building, him and his wife building, kind of the whole scourge of bricklinkers, and yeah, it was an interesting chat to get a bit of an opinion from someone that's, you know, doesn't use Bricklink and just buys parts and stores them till he's doing a mock and stuff like that. So yeah, fascinating insight into people's ways. Anyway, we'll have a look at that a little bit later, along with the parts that have arrived, looking pretty decent. In terms of orders then, I did a little bit of picking last night, did some this morning. There's one very large order pending. If that one comes in, that's going to make the week, so fingers crossed. A few small parts there, a couple of tiles and a Technic connector. Lovely little dark red hall of sloped curves there. Some of those trans bits in red and dark brown in that. Dark blue, everything in that one. Meant to be clearing me out of those here, although there was still 2, 4, 6, 7 of them left in the thing, so I need to do an inventory check on that. But yeah, those tend to go in bulk whenever they go. They just tend to go in bulk. A whole little mixture of stuff for WA buyer, so that's pretty decent. Domestic lead, so easy done. And then a whole load of black, clearing out a few bits, and then a whole load of other bits and pieces as well, including some dark red grills. So 2, 4, 6, 8 orders in. Like I say, one decent one pending. Would be lovely if that one came off. We shall see. Not a lot added to the wanted list over the last couple of days, which is also good. There's a little bit of counting to be done in that, but I'll probably put away the parts from orders first. What have we got? Olive, red tiles, white tiles, and reusing. What have we got in there? Grease or whatever. Some of those. Just things that we ordered. Another couple under there, a big one and a small one. Tucked underneath, so get that done. Get onto the store report, which is going to be within the vlog this week. I had a good chat with Julian over at BL Metrics yesterday about perhaps doing a little bit of a deep dive on markets as a separate kind of thing. So we're probably going to do the US market. We'll look at its kind of size in comparison to other jurisdictions. We'll look at the amount of stores. There is a lot. Look at a couple of the famous stores in terms of what they're buying, how much they're selling, how much they're putting in every week. So that could be a little bit of an interesting feature. 25% of the YouTube channel audience is from the States. So yeah, that could be a nice little winner. And then in other news, my other kind of life is that. So I'm going to be working on that today. I might share some of that or a link to it in the comments down below for those of you looking for some sophisticated house music for your picking and sorting. A bit different, isn't it? But there you go. Okay, so let's get the post done and parts added in, store report, got a meeting call, got some work to do. There's a lot on, trying to get my hair cut because it's an absolute mess. There's everything to do today. Okay, parts unpacked, BSX file done. We're looking at 3,300 and something parts, of which majority, all but 6 lots, are all just replenishing stuff. So it's good stuff. In it goes. Some things kind of just quick turnaround things. Some things just popular. Might have gone a little bit overboard on them. There you go. 2 orders have just come through. Olaf's headpiece there, and a very Star Wars Republic looking something there. And I think another one has just come through on my screen as I'm recording. So yeah, a busy Friday, continuing what has been a pretty good week, to be honest. Got a bunch of those in one of those. It was a great find in the pick a brick wall. You don't often get good solid parts like that, and I did a sterling job of packing them. See if I can find the box here. Oh, that one must be that. Yeah, it's this one. Let's see if I can just let me find a scalpel. Here we go. That's what we're talking about packing. Probably could have got some in there actually in hindsight. That, oh no, I probably wouldn't have shot and they would have got a little bit touchy, but there you go, a whole pile of them. That's going to be a decent one. The other ones are mixed up. Oh no, that's all dark orange masonry bricks. The other guy that I was talking to asked them what parts they had sitting out the back. Something I've never actually done, but they went and got him. Whatever was out the back, it was plundered. Boxes and boxes of masonry bricks. That one has got mixed things in there, as has this one, I believe. Yeah, got a mixture of stuff in there. Some dark purple bits, some dark purple 4x4 plates at the bottom, and then this one is another kind of good find for a brick wall. I'll be honest. Doesn't often happen, does it, where you get good solid parts like that, like those bricks, like masonry bricks, all at once. And this one is a whole small box of them. Not that I was running short of them, but you know, they're just one of those things that ticks along nicely. So yeah, we've got a nice little haul. There is what else is in this one? It's a whole bunch of them, which I was running low of, and I knew they had them. And I think there's some black curved slopes in the bottom of that as well. So a good little mixture to add to all of this. I should see a good result for the weekly upload. So decent. Okay, another 5,732 parts. Not too bad. Yes, they are small parts, but certainly does the job in terms of boosting the inventory for this week. Or those were the only one that didn't have any in stock. The others are kind of replenishing, restocking. Some of them are just good movers, so that's decent. Did I show you the orders that came in? I think I showed you those too. That one has also come in. Real random assortment of things, which is nice. And the other one, which is almost 2,000 parts, has also come in. But I need to do the store report next. A lot of counting. Took a little while, so that's where we are at.
Store report.
So week 42 store report, once more back within the vlog, the safe warm bosom of the blog. So what have we got? A pretty decent week on the back of last week. 659 last week, 652 this week, the same average sitting at 23. So as you can see, it has been seriously steady for the past kind of 4 weeks, which is good and not too bad for a while. In terms of that average, very consistent in the last month. However, I was below the average for Bricklink this week, although Brickowl seemed to spark into life. So yeah, that's just the way it goes, isn't it? In terms of the top of the shop, it's the usual suspect at the top, but next best dressed, coming in at 61, was Ashburton Bricks. So there you go, bit of a turn up for the books. Down on there last week, but up into the number 2 spot this week. But what I did notice this week is the difference between the big orders and the lower orders was probably closer together, which is interesting, and as we'll see from the main chart. So week 42 tracker, Bricks Warehouse, top of the shop as per normal. By far the biggest store, by far the highest orders, although they have dipped below 100 orders a week quite consistently over the last couple of months, running at 101% above the 6 months average. 23,896 unique lots, and 88.1% of their inventory value comes from parts alone. Interesting. Ashburton down on last week's, but performing well and up into second compared to everybody else, sneaking in by 1. They are closed Friday and Saturday, so I wasn't able to run the percentage value of parts for the store, but they are tracking at 12,493 unique lots and 10% under the 6 months average, which I believe is lower than they were last time we looked at that. Brickshed, 60 orders, well within their kind of usual range, but dropping 1 place as a result. 40 cents per part in store, 83% above the 6 months average. 29,647 unique lots, making them top of the shop as far as I remember off the top of my head, and 82.8% of their value comes from parts, so slightly less than the one above. Pretty Bricks up 1 over in Tasmania, 60 as well this week, up on 55 last week. They are tracking at 64 cents per part within store and 39% above the 6 months average. 24,792 unique lots, and only 73.7% of their store value comes from parts. Goldie Bricks Zone 48, slight increase on last week, but fairly consistent throughout the lot. 44 cents per part in store value, running at plus 10% of the average 6 months value. 14,227 unique lots, and only 52.8% of their value comes from parts, suggesting they're either running an awful lot of sets or a lot of minifigures. Definitely something to consider. Tanya, after her meteoric rise in parts, climbs another rung on the ladder. 47 this week, so steadily building those daily orders, which is good. 54 cents per piece across the inventory, running at 68% above the 6 months average. That is pretty consistent with where they were before, 24,829, so very, very close to Noah's slot there currently, having it overtaken Pretty Bricks into that second or third slot, I would hazard a guess. Brick Womble would be the other one that's in the mix for that one, and 77.2% of the store value is coming from parts. The big faller this week, Fantechnic, 3 weeks on the bounce, kind of smaller sales, often happens. As you can see, Goldie Bricks there, experiencing that from week 38 through to 40, but Fantechnic running at 45 cents per piece, minus 4% of the 6 months average, so slightly below 6 months average. 12,114 unique lots, and very heavy on the parts value. 90.2% is coming from parts alone. And then we hit 3 new entrants. Brick or Block, 30 orders this week. As you can see, that's a bit of an outlier over the past 5 weeks, 17, 16, 20, 14. They are operating at 23 cents per part and 13% under the 6 months average, which is not the lowest here. 10,788 unique lots, and 72.7% of the inventory value is coming from parts. Brick for Me, I think that's all one word as well, 25 this week. Again, as you can see over the 5 weeks, pretty consistent. 62 cents per part pricing, which is up there with Pretty Bricks. 134% over the 6 months average, and anyone that's ever looked at their store, shipping is it may as well be hand delivered at those prices. 22,005 unique lots, and 72.9% of that coming from parts in terms of store value. And finally, in at number 10, the Bricksons. 22 orders this week. They have been closed on and off for a while, so this is not a true reflection of their standard business. Back open this week and clocking up 22 sales. They are operating at 21 cents per part, so the same as Ashburton, and just a smidge below Brick or Block. Minus 32% below the 6 months average, making them a real bargain, if they've got what you want, that is. And the smallest of the lot with unique parts, 10,070 unique lots in store, and 67.5% of their inventory is coming from parts. So a couple of different metrics for you this week. Gonna do, I think I've already talked about it in the vlog, we're gonna do kind of like a market special type stuff with US market for comparison. Australia has about 771 stores. I think America has something like 21 million. So there is definitely plenty of scope. If there are stores that you're keen on being featured within that report, leave a comment down below, and I'll start tracking some of their data. So we've got some interesting stuff to talk about once that comes around. That's it for this week. Store report, back in the vlog. See you later, and back to the normal vlog.
Store report.
Welcome to Saturday afternoon. That is the big order that came in. Nice little story. This someone buying the parts for a build for their son, and they reached out to say that I had 95% of the parts via Rebrickable for this set, and would I get the other parts for them? It turned out it was only 18 parts, so not as much of a drama as it might have been, but yeah, nice. Kind of costed it up for them in terms of buying it from 2 or 3 other stores. Sent them that to approve. They did. Bank transfer. Bob's your uncle. So we're just waiting on some parts to complete that. This is where Brickowl gets a little bit, because if I don't mark this as sent within 3 days, you kind of lose your rating a little bit. So yeah, it's important that I mean, I don't know why Brickowl doesn't have a bit more flexibility about, you know, processed being enough. But anyway, buyer's a buy, can't fix the world. Regular buyer, whose name now escapes me, I'm going to say Matthew or Dave, one of those two anyway. They always go express, little order going as well. And this one's like a lot of yellow, nice change actually. A little bit of Technic bits and pieces in there, and some black. Maybe they're making a JCB type Caterpillar thing, I don't know. I found a few stray ones whilst I was going through D719, so I need to double check that. And yesterday I had a new box of these in the supermarket, but the scanner wasn't working, so I just went potluck. So I got one with the crutches. I got I think that's Cyberpunk Spider or something. Got another one of those ladies who actually has really nice hair. If it wasn't blonde, like pink at the end, I would swap that for the missus up there. It's a bit more of an actual colour. Anyway, this one, which I have no idea what it is, but somebody purpley. It comes in a figurehead. Oh, there it is. In the female of some variety, and a couple of like hand things. Cool hairpiece. Ooh, nice. Anyway, that one. I got another one of the cowboy ones. I've got loads of them, doesn't matter. And then I got this one, which I hadn't really spotted before, but it's got like a little cat, which I think, is it a cat? What is it? Cat, dog, whatever. Anyway, one of them, pretty cool. 2 headpieces in that one as well. So yeah, I probably put the ones I don't have in the store, and I might keep Gwen and Cowboy Spider or Spider Boy or whatever he's called. I have no idea. Someone did mention that I was clearly not a Spider-Man fan. I think I mentioned that I'm more of a Batman. Much more interested in the tormented orphan wreaking revenge on his enemies than someone that got bitten by a radioactive spider. But you know, that's just me. I mean, radioactive spiders, hardly believable. Anyway, that's where we're at. So we got up fairly decent parts numbers as well. Oh, I did mention that, didn't I? That's the new one from me. I don't do it very often, but in fact it's been 888 days since I did it, so yeah, it's good to be back doing that a little bit. I'll pop the link down below in case anyone's vaguely interested. We are sitting at 783, 851, so that is a decent little climb on last week. The lot's a little bit of a smudge up as well, which is decent. Hopefully that can continue. As I said, kind of need to control spending a little bit better over the coming weeks, so that may well get eaten away. The goal was always to be 750 by the end of the year, so that's still what we're working to. But other than that, that's me. Rubbish bags everywhere, parts getting sorted, isn't it? But other than that, we'll wrap up there. I'll get the vlog done and out, and then we'll be back here tomorrow for the start of week. Well, it's not technically the start, but we're into week 44, which means there is only 8 left over the year once we get to Monday, which is scary stuff, isn't it? Anyway, that's where we're at. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week.